Hey YouTube family, hope you guys are having a great day. I'm coming to you now with a two-part daily drawing lesson video series. This video and the next video that will be following maybe in a few days, these videos are focusing on a new little drawing exercise that I started for myself recently that I wanted to share with all of you. This first video that we're going to be focusing on is going to be all traditional drawing. The next video will be digital. We're going to be using markers and pens to help practice our improv drawing skills. Just like with comedians, we're using these skills to just like come up with spur of the moment ideas using simple abstract shapes that we create ourselves, or we can let other people create them for us to make it a little bit more interesting. Now, with no further ado, let's get started. The first thing I'm going to say is I'm actually recording this for the third time. This is actually being recorded 2 days after the intro was recorded, so I apologize for that. I'm probably going to rehash a few things that I mentioned in the intro for this video, so I apologize for that, but let's get started. So the main purpose of this new exercise here is to basically create improv doodles. I know we do that normally. You see me in my sketchbook or on my iPad Pro just going and doodling random things. This here is meant to be more of an exercise to really push your limits to the extremes. First thing I'm going to do before we get started is I'm going to talk about the tools that I'm using. So a lot of you have seen YouTubers, illustrators, whatever, go through and use Prismacolor markers here. And honestly, you know, they're good markers. They're super expensive. I bought these years ago and I barely ever use them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just say, you know what? Forget the Prismacolor markers. Instead, don't worry about paying that much for markers. Go to traditional Crayola markers. These are probably going to be the best bang for your buck in doing this type of a doodling exercise. And honestly, you don't need high-tech drawing equipment in order to do these type of exercises. I'm going to be using in this video Crayola markers and this Papermate flare tip, felt tip pen. And now, I will say this is probably one of the most expensive pens I've ever used that you can just buy at a regular store. These sell in like 2 packs for like $2-3 a piece. I probably have like 50 plus pens like this just because I love this pen. Okay, so I actually have already gone ahead just to save time and drawn out a few different shapes using the Crayola markers. So I'm just going to flip this over here and we're going to get started. So basically what you can do to get started with this exercise is take a Crayola marker and draw some random shape like I did here. And then just like fill it in. You want it to be a solid mesh shape. You don't want it to just be an outline. So you'll want to go through and actually shade in this entire thing here. Now I've got a few different colors and shapes here that we're just going to randomly work on. And I'm going to give you like some of my thoughts as I'm actually doing this. Now, I will say this is actually very interesting because I am currently doing this with a tripod standing right here. The camera is right in front of me and I'm back here hunched over trying to record this video. So I hope you guys, I hope that gives you a laugh just trying to think of how I look doing this video. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna say as I'm looking at this shape here is instantly, it kind of reminds me of a steak. You know, so you've got like the rounded edge here. Here, I'll draw off to the side what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna draw this and make it into a steak, but I thought this was pretty funny as I was looking at this. You know, it kind of looks like a T-bone steak in a way. But what we're going to do, I think for this one, I'm going to actually do a body. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it, let's say we start here. I'm going to add a belt. just like this. And this, I'm not going to go too much into detail because I don't want this video to be too long. I might do a little bit extra detail in this, but I will say that when I do the digital version of this, I will probably go into way too much detail. So we have this guy, or yeah, we'll say it's a guy, has a belt. Let's give him some legs. We haven't even started on the main features of this character, but I feel like giving him these like little scrawny legs here just like adds to like the comedic effect of this doodle here. Okay, so let's go ahead and draw his arms. Give him some big muscular arms. And for this type of exercise, they do not have to be perfect. I'm gonna tell you that right now. This whole exercise is not about creating a perfect drawing, a perfect illustration. This is simply to look beyond what you normally would see. So I looked at this blob and I saw a big torso. I mean, I also saw a steak, but I saw a torso. And so right now what I'm doing is I'm just going through and I'm not worrying about how good this is. I'm worrying about just like the aesthetics of it. Like, what could I create? Like, I'm not going to turn this into some print, or I'm not giving this to a client. Instead, what I'm doing is I'm just drawing this for myself as like a little exercise to see where I could take something such as this. All right, so actually let's call this guy, we'll say he's Meat Man. So we'll give him a giant M on his chest. Meat Man, up, up, and away. Let's see, with the head, I'm not going to do too many features here. Meat Man is also bald. But you see, like, this is just like a fun little doodle just to practice, you know, improv shapes. So I'm gonna say that this guy is done. Here, let me bring it a little bit closer so you guys can see. This is Meat Man. All right. Now we get into the more difficult type shapes. That one was a pretty easy one. This one's a little bit harder. I think I might do another character here. Let's see. I'm gonna start with put an ear right here. And I'm gonna say that this is a neckline. Let's see. I'm going way different than what I did in previous drawing, daily drawing lessons. Like normally I would start with the ears, nose, eyes. Here I'm actually going right into the mouth. Now we're going to do the nose. Let's do some big eyes for this guy. He's looking over his shoulder. Give him some curvy teeth. His tongue right there. Let's see, give him a little bit of an Adam's apple. Get his hair in there just like so. Some sideburns. So I am adding a little bit more detail to this guy. And it's funny because the more simpler the shape, I didn't want to really do too much detail. Here I want to do more detail. He's like, I think I'm cool. Maybe I'm not. Let's give him a collar. I I think I'm gonna give him a polo shirt. I remember there was a friend of mine in college. She always wanted me to wear polo shirts. And when I finally did, I was just like, ugh, who have I become? And I wore polos for a couple years, and now I'm like, never, ever again. Let's see. So add a little sleeve here. We're messing with his arm. Give him like the little bit of a fold on the arms here. Another one here. We're gonna do something interesting here. We're gonna stop this line, bring it up here, and see, like, I messed up with his fingers. That is perfectly fine. This is just like a little drawing exercise, and it shows you guys that I'm not perfect. Like, I'm using ink here. This is a much harder thing to use. Let's give him a high buckle. Some pants. And there we go. I feel like this is good enough for this guy. So we got this like nerdy little guy here. He's got like high-waisted pants. He's smiling. He's like, I hope the popular kids like me. that really hits home for me. Okay. Oh God. This one's gonna be a doozy here. And I know that I'm like branching into a very long video here. I apologize for that. Thank you guys for sticking around with me for all of these. You know what? In fact, because of time, let me go ahead. Let's see. I actually see something really cool in this one, so I'm actually going to skip this one. Maybe I'll do this another time. But I'm going to go into here. So this one's different, right? We've got technically two shapes here, but we have a huge amount of possibilities. So I can actually see something here that I'm already going to go ahead and jump into. And I'm not even going to say what it is. I'm sure that you guys will figure it out pretty quickly. I'll wait until I get far along into the doodle. Have you guys guessed what it is yet? Decided to add toes here. So I'm drawing a dinosaur. I'm like, you know what? I want to draw a dinosaur. I'm going to draw a dinosaur. Give him some of those rounded teeth like that one character. Just going to give him a dot for the eye. Let's add a little bit of a thing here. This is a really cool one. All right, and then let's give him a friend. In fact, let's add some lipstick. So now it's a female friend. Okay, so you can see that I took these two random shapes and I created them into a solid composition. I'm just going to add, just because I want to, a little bit of a background forest type stuff here. I know I'm going super late in this video. I hope you guys don't mind. but there we go. Two dinos in love. How about that? Okay, so this is the final little doodle of this exercise. I hope that this exercise really helped you out, and I hope that's something that you guys will practice on your own. And just remember, you don't need expensive art supplies. You can just go to Walmart, Target, almost basically any grocery store, pick up a pack of, you know, markers, any type of markers, and you can just start creating. Hey YouTube family, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions whatsoever, or if you have any ideas for future videos, please leave comments down in the show notes below. I love your comments. It really helps to encourage me to make more of these videos and push the envelope forward. So thank you so much for all of you who have stayed tuned, who have watched these videos, who have subscribed, who have given me ideas for all of these wonderful videos. Thank you. Before I go, I just wanted to talk about a couple things. First and foremost, if you guys love this video, if you love my other drawing lesson videos, I am putting on a webinar on January 24th. There's still time for you to sign up today, but I'm putting on this webinar to help teach people how to draw, how to get better at drawing, and how to use those drawing skills in your everyday life and your career. Secondly, I want to give a major shout out to my good friend Dustin Lee of Retro Supply. He has created, once again, another amazing product. This product has some spectacular brushes. They're all geared towards the theme of like the Sailor Jerry tattoo tattoo style. You know, kind of similar to like what I've got here or what I've got here. They're really cool. There's great shading and stippling brushes in there for Adobe Illustrator. There's also some great drawing brushes for Adobe Illustrator in there as well. I played around with it the other day and I loved it. I'm hoping to put out a future video, maybe in a week or so, that really shows me using these brushes to the fullest. So definitely stay tuned for that, and definitely check out the link in the show notes below to learn more about Retro Supply and this amazing product. And finally, I know that's a lot of things to go over at the end of a video, but I want to give a major shout out to Adobe Live. If you guys haven't known or haven't seen them, I was on Adobe Live twice before. Once in August and once at Adobe Max. I was part of their first group of illustrators who are live, and I'm really excited to announce that I will be going back on Adobe Live in March. So stay tuned for more news about that. If you guys haven't checked out Adobe Live, definitely do so. They have their own YouTube channel and they also have their own link. You might have seen it in the sticker right here, but definitely check them out. There's a lot of illustrators, designers, photographers, videographers, and they're always sharing so much of their knowledge on Adobe Live, and you get to see sneak peeks of amazing new features on some of the mobile apps as well as the desktop apps. So definitely check that out. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I am sweating right now because of the sunlight over here, but I wanted to leave you guys with this. Always remember to stay passionate, stay positive, and stay creative, everybody. Have a great day, and I hope to see you guys very soon.